Hey, Mike Brookfield here. This week, let's check out a bit of Bad Love on our little Journeyman experiment. A few years ago, we did the whole Blues Breakers album for a bit of fun, didn't we? Now, just on the back of this John Mayer thing, we've been checking out a few Journeyman classic Clapton things. What did we do? We did Pretending, Anything for Your Love. The third track on the album is Bad Love. So if you were around when this came out, it was like a big tune if you were a guitar player. It was in all the guitar magazines and stuff like that. And it was one of those kind of must-learn riffs. I don't know what it's like now, probably slipped off the radar of many guitar players, but it's a classic thing to play. It just, it kind of falls under the fingers and it's really good fun to play. So let's go through it. I'm on 9,900 odd on the subscribers, close to that classic 10K. So please like, subscribe, all of that kind of stuff. It helps, motivates. And considering I've been putting videos up since 2008, I don't know if it's going to be a success to get to 10K. No, it's been a bit of a slow old slog. But anyway, bit of fun, eh? Let's check it out, will we? So the track. Oh, he's got the wah on. Forgot about that. I'm not going to plug the wah in. There we go. So that's kind of pretty straightforward, isn't it? Yeah, so totally doable. That just around it's like D minor kind of pentatonic, moving between like the C form and the A form. So I think you'd be okay picking that up. Then he goes up the octave, doesn't he? So if you kind of check that out, so he's got same thing really, but he does this nice little double stop. Little double stop there. Nice. Okay. So here's the verse. So let's call that the verse, and it's really like a B, and then it goes to B with an E in the bass, and then an E, and then an A. So and again, it's a B power chord. It's B minor really, and then a B with an E in the bass, and an E. I checked him out at the Albert Hall before I started this video to see if there was any differences, and that's the position he's playing in, But I always actually played it like this. I played B minor with an E in the bass, and then to the E, and then an A like that. So like. That's the way I just worked it out, but it's funny that he uses, just straight power chord. He doesn't even play the minor, I don't think. Anyway, so that's the verse. So there's some fast moving chords, but mainly power chord bass, B flat to C, A minor to B flat, G minor, C, D minor, all pushed, and then B flat, C, same again, A minor, B flat, and then got G minor, C, but this time it goes back to the G power chord. So all that is like, and then you're into the chorus, which is D minor, C, G power chord. So last time he goes to a B flat instead, you know. And then that's, you know, that's it. That's the verse, the pre-chorus and the chorus. And then that kind of just repeats. There's a little interlude section that comes before the guitar solo, isn't there? Where it's kind of clean sound. Always reminds me of Badge. It's like they were going for that Badge thing where it breaks down with a classic riff and then the solo kicks off, you know. So, you know, it's this thing where it goes. So it's really about knowing where the chord is pushed off the beat, or is it on the beat just before that. So the first one is off the beat. So the second one is on the beat just before. So that boom, boom, dong on the beats. That's the same as the first one. It's off the beat, the last chord, the D. And the last one, he doesn't play the open A string, he just jumps to the chord. So, off the beat, on the beat, off the beat, and then he just misses off the A open string and then hits the chord early. So that's a good way of, because it can be quite tricky for people to get the rhythm on that section. And then the solo is just killer. Okay, so slowed it down, it's out there. Let's go back to the beginning of that. Woo! So it's one, it comes in on after the 3. So 1, 2, 3. So when I tried to work that out first, it's like, what's going on there? There's a lot of that octave displacement. You kind of hear that a lot on saxophones because you can play the same note with 2 different fingerings. But it has a slightly different timbre. So it's kind of a nice thing. And you hear it a lot in rockabilly, don't you? Like, where you play the same note on different strings. But it's kind of an odd thing that he's doing here, but very, very cool. It's not something people generally get right, I don't think. You know what I mean? Let's not go into that, but here you go. So it's like 1, 2, 3. So you're playing that D in 2, you know, on 2 different strings. So you go. That's, and then it kind of, which is kind of really odd for Clapton. Huge string bend, so you're bending from 17 to 22. See, my guitar's choking out a little bit there. So, let's try to play along with that. bit was... So it's almost like he moves into like a major thing there. And then back to the kind of minor, so you got this. And then bend down. So let's have a listen to that, those three phrases together. 2, 3. Right, there's quite a lot there, isn't there? But it starts off with this. So what he's doing is bending from 17 to 20. He bends up, 17 to 20, back down, and then back up again. So, and then it's like real staccato on the 17, 15, 17. I'll do that slow, so. And then he almost repeats that phrase, but he does play it slightly different. So he goes. So if I play those, you know, two new phrases together. Okay, cool. Let's go back to the beginning and play it from there. 2, 3. Yeah, so this is the bit, you know. So that's kind of nice. Then this is the problem little section at the end where he slides into 22, so he goes, but there is no 22 here, I only go up to 21, so, and then he bends like 22 up to 25, so I'm gonna have to do that from 21, you know, so. And if you don't want to slide to 22, you can do the bend. Let's have a listen to that. So. You know, that's basically what he does there. So, okay, let's go back to the beginning and we'll cover that section, that little bit again in a minute. So don't panic, because that's quite hard, isn't it? Actually, I'll just go through it slowly there. So you've got you can slide to the 22, or you can just bend to it. I'm gonna bend to it, even though he does slide, but I haven't got 22 frets, only 21. So, and then I've got to bend from 22 to 25, but I'm going to have to do it from 21. And then he plays 20, 22. So I'm going to have to do a pre-bend where I go, and then a bend. I'm pretty sure he does a hammer there to 22, but we can't. We're going to have to do a bend. So if you have 22 frets, you can just, you know, just play 22 instead of all of these kind of like pre-bends, you know. But it's really nice to do it on a 21 fret guitar because, you know, it's really nice to kind of learn about all these little pre-bends and trying to pitch notes within bends, you know. It's no big deal just to play it on a 22 fret guitar. My 22 fret guitar doesn't have dots on the neck, so I don't think you're going to thank me very much if I actually demo it on that, because you're going to go, Can't tell what fret he's on. Here we go. So you've got that. So let's go from the beginning. Oh, that little rundown is, so you go 21 up to 25, 20, 22 and a pre-bend, bend up, and then you've got this kind of little run where you're on 90, you go 20, and there's a little kind of like, it's not quite perceivable exactly what he's doing there, but you can tell he comes down and the neck and goes. And then you've got to find your way back into the riff, you know. So let's take it from the beginning there. 1, 2, 3. Back into the riff. 3. So that's kind of about, what is that? I think that's about 85%. So I'll take it back up to, I think this is 100. Okay, so computer's freaked out by that completely. So hey, it just goes back into the riff, and then you're into another chorus. And that's it, you're home and dry. So my fingers are in bits after that. It's a real Clapton classic. I think this Journeyman really for me is probably, you know, the great last Clapton album. He's done a lot of great stuff. I mean, like From the Cradle and obviously Unplugged, and you know, in the 30 years after this album, you know, he's done some great albums. But for me, there's a kind of real high point in here, and he often refers to this era of his playing, you know, as being one of his best, where he was doing things that, you know, he couldn't even imagine doing now. And this is him speaking maybe 15 years ago or something. And I think he was actually talking about the opening of this guitar solo, because it's so, you know, like you don't hear Clapton doing this very often, you know, but he's not stepping too far out of his style. You know, he's doing the Clapton thing, but he's doing a little bit more. It's very, very slick, and it takes a serious amount of power. I've got 9s on here, and it's, you know, it's kind of tough going. So that opening, you know, you know, is, you know, real super killer playing. Anyway, hope you enjoyed that. Bad Love. This video ended up a little bit longer than I thought, but hey, we covered things pretty good, and I hope you're well anyway. Keep it burning, please subscribe, and all of that kind of stuff.